What's up, Cities 2 fanatics? Welcome back to Dev Talks. Today we are going to watch, react, and break down to the Dev Diary of Climate and Seasons. My name is Flyvox, I am here with Joy Build Cities, and we have a very special guest. With us today is Toady. Hi Toady, welcome.
G'day.
And are you excited about this Dev Diary?
I am the most stoked. Seasons are really rad.
I'm also looking forward to this. Joy, how are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just, I love a winter wonderland, so give it to me. Let's go.
Let's go.
Life in a thriving city can be a whirlwind. Sunny moments of joy and laughter can cloud over as stormier times roll in. It's impossible to forecast. Luckily, the weather in your city will be more predictable, as each map has a unique climate with reliable seasonal patterns. Maps in Cities Skylines 2 are inspired by real-world locations, so your city's climate will be unique to that place. The climate dictates how each of the 4 seasons looks and feels. As one season gives way to the next, the length of the day will change. The amount of sunshine and cloud cover will too. Temperatures will vary, and so will precipitation.
I'm also just really excited about how mountains look.
Weather will impact your city in
Small side
ways.
note.
Rainy, snowy, and sun-soaked days can pile pressure on your electricity grid. Same for city services, which will need to respond. Like in winter,
it just kind of
road
stopped.
maintenance crews power up plows to clear the road network of snow before it causes collisions.
That looks cool.
If city services
That looks
don't
so
respond in time
familiar.
or do what needs to be done, accident rates can rise
so
with the knock-on effect of overstretching emergency
Cute is
crews.
a very strange word for it.
Seasonal weather also affects how people move around your city and where they spend their time. Parks will draw crowds when the sun is out, while restaurants,
got a golden
movies,
suit.
and other indoor spots will get busy fast when it rains. Of course, extreme seasonal weather can turn life upside down in a flash. You can help your city prepare for natural disasters with disaster control systems, but there's no stopping them.
Those look so
Your
much
city might
better.
experience disasters.
Oh my God!
That's
Oh, I did that.
traffic
That's
accidents
exactly
that
how
cause
I
road
almost
networks.
died once.
Oh my
Disasters
God!
with a capital D are a whole lot more serious.
Yo, look at
They
that.
impact city services and the local economy in the short
Weather
and long
damage.
term. As a city
Yeah.
builder,
Ooh.
it's up to you to help your city bounce back when nature is a bit extra. But for the most part, seasonal changes will be
extra.
predictable.
Yeah,
Winter will run its course
They've done really
and
well
give
at,
way to
like,
spring, just as night
kind
will
of the
follow day.
fun vibes of the
The day and
narration.
night cycle connects to the
Oh,
calendar.
just look at that
When a
valley,
day-night cycle
river
ends,
valley.
one calendar month
Wow.
will have passed. So every 24 hours, a month of the
Aurora
year will have come and
Borealis.
gone. The seasons will change after 3 cycles. And after 12 cycles, it's time to start all over again.
Cool.
The citizens of your city will experience life's highs and lows like the shifting seasons. Good times and bad will come and go. By building your city's unique climate, you can create the backdrop
Oh, that's
to
Wow.
life live to its fullest.
Come on. Okay, this was super epic. Every time I can't get over the visuals of these. This looks
Yeah,
so
they're
good.
not holding back on it, eh?
Yeah,
Showing
100%.
us the good stuff.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Let's see. Let's break it down.
Yeah, and the benefit that we get today is that Toadie's actually already been able to play this game, and I know she can't tell us what she can't tell us, but I'm excited to have you here as a guest because you have a different perspective. So yes, let's jump in into this Dev Diary, see what else we can learn from the PDF.
Oh yeah. So I found it very, very interesting that we get different types of climates with the various characteristics unique to each map. That is so cool. And I also love that many maps' climates are based on actual real world locations. I really, really like that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really cool.
I'm so specifically stoked about how they say, like in the PDF, they kind of go into more detail about the each map sort of thing. And it makes me very happy that like replayability just seems to be coming up over and over and over again. So like every northern hemisphere map that we play on won't just feel the same because they're northern hemisphere. I'm still gonna have like different experiences within the northern hemisphere, and I love that. I'm very excited about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they said that there's going to be 3 basic types of climate. So there's going to be the temperate climate, the continental climate and polar regions, which I'm very excited about. But they said that the weather, and Tody, you've played the game, so you would know, but they said the weather is closely tied to the climate and represents the climate's seasonal changes. So like you were saying, each map is unique and unique to the weather and changes with the simulation. So like you said, the replayability, the fact, and this has been throughout all these Dev Diaries, something that Fly and I have talked about, is every experience is gonna feel a little different because you're gonna maybe choose a different direction you want to go on your, you know, your tree, right? Your development tree. There's so much difference that even if a player plays on the exact same map, it's going to feel really different because of the amount of choice that we have now.
Yeah, I love that they haven't just chosen, like they could have chosen however many hemispheres, like I guess 4 I've been learning. I thought there was 2 and now there's 4. 4 hemispheres and choosing, I don't know, like 8 latitude points, and they could have just like specifically stuck with those. But that, because we're such a global community, like Cities Skylines is so incredibly global, and I now get to experience through a video game kind of what the day-night cycle in Germany is going to be like. Or Fly could pick up the game and we could kind of tinker with it and set it to very similar to me in Toronto, and Fly could experience the very short days that I have in Toronto. And yeah, there's just more representation of yourself available, and then more learning opportunities for experiencing what you can't experience around you available. And it's awesome. I'm stoked.
Yeah, me too as well. Before we move on though, let's have a look at this guy. I found this very interesting. The road maintenance vehicle just like stopping in the middle of the road with no brake lights, and then all of a sudden you got this truck coming in and he's just like moving out the way. What is like, it kind of it's a bit anxiety inducing because he's just like in the middle of the highway, just like slamming on the brakes. You don't even see it, and could get dangerous really quickly.
And I do think the snowplow is cute. I'm sorry, I think it's really cute. I love it.
The brake lights is an interesting observation because a couple Dev Diary videos ago, we saw high beams come on and off.
So true.
The front of them are simulated, but not the back. Or maybe it's just early footage. I genuinely don't know the answer to that one. But
right here too on the snowplow, it seems like he's braking too here. And that like last shot before the scene changes, like right here, and like no brake lights. Also,
but the momentum is simulated because you see the front of him go down. That's so interesting.
Yeah, right. It's so true, so cool. So true. Also, they're not even wearing heavy coats, scarfed, gloves, hats, nothing, right? In the winter
But that
time.
is something we did see in,
Love
Cities
the golden
Skylines.
suit.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it before, but that's awesome.
In Cities Skylines 1, when you're on a snow map, everyone is bundled up, so it's interesting.
Oh.
Are they?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I think I tried a snow map once in Cities 1, and I don't know. I couldn't see
Even the cowgirl with the
well.
crop top is, bundled up. So pretty good.
I wouldn't be surprised if these aren't the final models, because we saw before that there was like riderless motorcycles, but then I think since then we've seen riders on motorcycles, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're still in development.
Right. Yeah. The lightning. Wow.
I was just about to say, this looks so good. My God. Also, what I found very interesting, that there's 3 play speeds in the game, as we know from Cities 1, but on what? Oh my God.
I've genuinely done that.
Oh my God.
That's exactly how I got into Big Crash.
On the freeway with the dogs.
Walking right here with 2 dogs. There's already a car tipped over.
Oh, look at there is.
Oh my God.
I wonder if they were in the van and now they're walking to get help, because if your pedestrians can walk on your highways, that's sus. That's not gonna fly with me.
Not gonna fly with you. I'm so sorry. You've made an excellent point, definitely on purpose, about the storytelling possibilities that come with these accidents.
Ooh.
Yeah, you've just created the start of a small story, and now in my little brain that processes too quickly, I've told the rest of the story in my brain already. But that's really fun. I like that.
This looks so dangerous. Like
Hmm.
this
It is
accident is
dangerous.
wild.
What were you saying, Fly, about the cycles?
Exactly. I was saying about the in-game speed. There's actually 3 speeds as well. We know that. But in Cities 2, the one speed, one day is an actual like over an hour in real life. And if you play it on one speed, and that is something that I think is like it's really really crazy. Like it's super super slow. Like in Cities 1, I believe one in-game day on one speed was simply just a few seconds, like the 24-hour cycle. And so it's much, much slower now. And I wonder how that will play out. Like right now, I can't really imagine how slow this actually will be. Like 1 hour is just going to be one in-game day.
It's actually really comforting for me because I do play slower, and I think it'll become less necessary as we all get like familiar with the game. But I think in the beginning, knowing that it's going to go slow like makes me feel a little bit less anxious about the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's maybe important to note as well that like the 1 hour equaling one day also equals 1 month. There's kind of like those
Right.
3 times. So 1 hour is you and I experiencing it. The one day is like the visual representation, but then also the traffic representation, the rush hour you saw on the public transit one. You can toggle for night and day or whatever it is. So that's that, one singular day that they're referencing. But then there's also that also equals a month. So if you were to sit at your computer for 1 hour on speed 1, you would see the month pass from like month A to month B. So it's not like you're going to be sitting there for however many days or in a year, hours, 365 hours to try to wait for a year to pass. You're going to sit there for 12 hours would be 1 year.
That sounds
I
about right.
think so. I think so.
Please don't call me out on that, comments. I'm an English major.
Wow, that's quite the time span. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool though. I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to how this is going to feel in the simulation. Actually, I'm playing it. What I also love is that depending on the climate, the temperature changes over the course of the whole year, and also the chance of rain and cloud coverage. Also, in that matter, I love that the citizens in your city, they actually react to like rain or sunshine, and they will prefer, like when it's raining, they will prefer to do activities that are indoors. And when it's sunny, they're going to prefer to do activities outside. I think that's so super, super cool. So on rainy days, you won't see as much pedestrian traffic, I guess, as on sunny
Yeah.
days. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, excited for that for sure.
And going back to the cuteness of the bulldozers, the other thing I really like is we put down our road maintenance building and different vehicles will come out depending on what's happening in the simulation. We don't have to manually do that, which I think is just kind of
right.
mind-blowing. And I love the idea of that. We don't specifically have to put down assets for winter. Those plows will just come out when they need to come out, and the road maintenance trucks will come out when they need to come out. So I think, to me, that's like another level that we haven't had yet.
Yeah, it feels like an appropriate place to simplify the GUI, because there's definitely some things that they've made like more complicated, right? But that, in the way that it was in CS1, felt kind of a little bit convoluted for no reason, like just extra buildings, extra whatever for no reason. And they've seen an opportunity to tidy things up, and they've taken it, and I think that's great.
We also have, of course, the natural disasters, and I love how these emergency shelters look that we're seeing right here. The
Yeah.
visuals are really, really cool. You got the small and the large, apparently, and you can place those to prepare for these extreme natural disasters, which apparently there's only going to be 3, if I understood that right in the PDF. We have the forest fires, hailstorm, and tornado, and the tornado we get a good look at in this video as well right here. Oh my god, that's big boy tornado for sure. So it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be really interesting with only 3, but I guess there's collapsing buildings, we've already seen that, and the traffic accidents, of course, that's probably going to be a handful to deal with on its own. And I also love that you can just simply choose to turn disasters on or off when you start a new game.
Also, when you load an existing save, which is nice because you
Ooh.
get people like me who are like, hey, I'm gonna do a playthrough with disasters turned on, and I'm just gonna be okay when things die. And then, I build something really nice, and then I don't want it to die. And so halfway through kind of my playthrough, I say, no disasters. Glad they're sticking with that.
The other thing that's really exciting for me is I think, and I hope, I mean, we'll see what happens, but already I'm excited just to leave the day-night cycle on now, when before I just always liked building in the day. But with the way that this is going to be timed out, and the fact that, as the sun's setting, we're getting all the lights coming on to the building, like the fact that we're going to have different traffic flows in the day of like rush hour when it's starting to, come home from work time. So I feel like that's going to be something that now all of us that create City Skylines content, I think that's going to become more of the norm for people to expect to see the day and night cycle in video editing versus like an aesthetic choice for cinematics. I think it'll be much more ingrained now because it just feels so, this whole entire game is just so much based in reality now and feeling realistic, and I'm just excited to actually enjoy playing with the day-night cycle on because of all these additional things that are happening with it.
I'm curious, kind of segueing back a couple of steps, I'm really curious what the general public's, I guess, response is to having the 3 natural disasters. I don't think I'm really passionate about it one way or the other, and I'm trying to think of why maybe that decision was made. I guess simplification is good. I wonder if they understood that tsunamis were the bane of everybody's existence. But I'm really curious what folks think about there being just the 3 and the introduction of the hailstorm as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's also like the collapsing buildings you have to deal with. We saw those already. The traffic accidents. There's a lot of like stuff that can happen in your city. So maybe it's, as you said already, Toady, maybe it's because for simplicity, only have the 3 natural disasters available now. But yeah, hailstorm is going to be interesting to see as an addition. 100%.
Fun small anecdote. Just yesterday here, we had a very huge storm, and the Environment Canada warning did genuinely describe the warning as toonie-sized hail is likely to fall. And for anybody not in the know, a toonie is our $2 coin, and it's just a very Canadian thing. So yes, yesterday we experienced toonie-sized hail.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Canada is real, I promise.
And just really quickly, while we're seeing this, I also love that, I believe it said in the PDF, from the hailstorm, the buildings can get weather damage, which I think is like, look at all these icons here. You get one hailstorm and like your neighborhoods, the buildings are damaged. Also going to be very interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, it says also that the money to repair the building from the hail damage has to come from the residents, which takes away money that they could have used on upkeep and leveling, which, as someone who has experienced hailstorms and has had to pay for them, like that is another level of realism. And it's another way of like intermingling the 2 mechanics of natural disaster and like disaster response and all that stuff. But then also to weave it in with the economy and I guess leveling up and stuff of your Sims buildings. I like that they've done a lot of the interweaving of mechanics there.
Yeah, well, everything we've seen so far, it's really, the game is very citizens first, which I love. It's very much based on their satisfaction, their happiness. It really is the foundation, which is true with cities. Like, you don't want to have really unhappy people. So I'm very excited, and I love that everything is very centered on, how the citizens are reacting to the environment around them, however that may come up.
That's an excellent perspective. I'm going to maybe write that down to expand on my thinking. Because, yeah, you're right. So many of the things are specifically centered on how the Sims react and like how their money is impacted and how their jobs are impacted. Yeah, awesome perspective.
I also just quickly want to say I just love how much the realism is in this game. Like it feels so realistic. Like with all the features that we've learned so far, it feels very, very much like they really focused on the realism aspect. In my opinion, it's going to be really, really sweet, I think.
I think the only thing that I didn't see that I would love to see is we didn't see how the trees were affected by the seasons, because
Right.
I'll tell you, October is my favorite month of the entire year. No surprise. I am one of those fall girls, pumpkin everything, and I want to see some falling leaves from the trees. I want to have some fall. So we didn't get to see that. I'm hoping that that's something that's there, that it's maybe something they're holding back, and or maybe it'll come at a later date. But yeah, as someone who's very focused on landscaping, I didn't really see the trees being impacted by the weather at all. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it feels like they should be. I have tree, bush, and rock commands in my live streams for a reason, and I would like to be able to talk about trees and bushes and rocks. And
because we know that now when we plant them, they'll be saplings, they'll grow, and if there's a fire, we will have like dead trees. So that is a mechanic in the game. So I'm assuming layering seasons would be possible. But you're right, maybe we didn't see it in this Dev Diary because they're waiting to blow us all away with beautiful fall trees and the landscaping one. So we can hope. We'll hope.
We'll hope, and I'm sure we will see at some point. All right, but that concludes the video for today. Toady, thank you so much for joining Joy and me on this one. It was super, super fun. Where can we find you the best? Because we're going to link your socials in the description of the video below, of course.
youtube.com/@ToadyZZZ. Come make fun of the way that I say a boot. It's a good time.
Let's go. Highly recommend everyone check out Toady. Very, very awesome. And if you out there want to hang out with me and Joy, we run a joint Discord with 3 other amazing builders who want to talk Cities Skylines 1 or 2. Feel free to stop by. It is also linked in the description below. Let us know in the comments if we missed anything, and let us know how you feel about climate and seasons in Cities Skylines 2. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.